Whenever I make a video and one of the men says something like, "Oh, I hate women," one of my go-to comments or jokes is usually, "The date men. The people you love are men. The people you want to love you are men. The people you revere are men. The people you want to be like are men. The people you look up to are men. The people you like hanging out with are men. Date men." And normally, these men who hate women, these incels, these anti-feminist, "Oh, woe is me, why can't we go back to when women were women and men were men," people will say, "Well, I'm not gay." I don't know. I feel like life would be a little simpler for you if you were. Everything you do in life, everything you've ever done was for the adoration of other men. Why not get their physical affection too? And then this guy did it. And then this guy did it. And then this guy did it. A little while ago, Dr. Phil, who I have my own problems with, decided to bring on Jack Peterson, a self-proclaimed spokesperson for the incel movement, who said this.
All this has driven me to a point where I'm dating a man now. I have a boyfriend because I couldn't put up with women anymore.
All this has driven me to a point where I have a boyfriend now. I couldn't put up with women. I couldn't put up with being cheated on. And you go, "Max, he seems like a normal dude. He just couldn't put up with women. I'm sure he doesn't have terrible things to say about them."
I'm Jack Peterson. I was the spokesperson for the incel community. It's a bunch of guys who have trouble getting laid.
I Googled this man. Mind you, he became a spokesperson for the incel community at 19 years old. At 19 years old, you're not an incel, you're just a virgin, dude. It's okay. It's okay. And that has far less to do with you being undesirable and women being awful than it does with you just being 19. That same article about him says he discovered the manosphere at 11. So when I guess 8 years, your most formative years, are you being told that women are awful and that they need to be submissive and that you are right in everything you do? I guess it is much easier to call yourself an incel when from 11 to 19, you're self-aware enough to know that women actively don't want you. And instead of taking those years to try and make yourself a person that's likable, someone that's funny, someone that can tell cow jokes, point at cows and go, "That's a big dog." Okay, I know that one wasn't funny. Like, I tried to push it. I did. I think it's the second time I've said that one. It sucks to see people take their formative years and waste them. And if you figure that out at 19, you can spend the next 10 years trying to be somebody worth loving. It's hard, but somebody who is actively seeking love and to love others. But when 11 to 19 is, "Guess I'll just hate women," where do you go from that? What do? You learn to play chess is the answer. You learn to play chess. If women don't like you, you sit down and you learn to play chess. Learn the Roy Lopez opening. E4, E5, knight F3, knight C6, bishop B5. Then do whatever you want from there. You don't get on Dr. Phil and talk about how much you hate women. Or you do, and you just figure out you were gay the whole time.
I hate women. I think they're evil and manipulative. They're all bitches, just lying, whores, all of them.
I hate women, and I don't think I have to repeat all the things that he said. Do you think maybe that you're just a cell? Do you think maybe speaking so disgustingly about the people you want to sleep with you, maybe pushing them away from sleeping with you? Do you think maybe you're the problem?
Men are discriminated against in our society.
Men are discriminated against in our society. You could tell by still holding all the power, by creating entire personalities out of hating women and then getting to go on talk shows because of it. By starting a movement focused on hating women just because they don't want us and getting a following. You could tell men are being discriminated against because when we make up problems, people agree with us. See, women are problems and men are problem solvers. So when the problem was that we didn't have a real problem, we created one. We found the solution. The solution was to pretend that people who don't think about us actively hate us. They're the worst. People that I've not ever been in a relationship with are cheating on me. Damn, do you feel sorry for me? Sorry enough to sleep with me? No? Okay, well then I hate you. Oh, I should just go date men? Maybe I will. Maybe when a front door closes, a back door opens. It's my back door because I'm dating men now. You don't have to date men to open your back door. You don't. Whatever you want to do, that's cool with me. As long as it's consensual. We're all adults here.
Men really are like a new minority.
Taking this a step away from men and women, what is with white men specifically that they so badly want to be a minority? Like the rest of us don't want to be. I don't want to walk into a room and be asked where my parents are from every time. I don't want to be asked if I was born in this country. When I was in the first grade, I went to pretty much an all Mexican school. I lived in a very Mexican neighborhood, but all the teachers were white and didn't speak Spanish. And so for most of us who hadn't yet developed English, we would just get kicked out for speaking Spanish. If you spoke Spanish, you would get sent out in the hall and you'd have to just sit there. That's not something we wanted to go through. That's not fun. Most of us lost a lot of our time that should have been spent learning for speaking the only language we knew. That's not fun. What do you want to be a minority for, dude? It's just men specifically with shortcomings who are so afraid of maybe perhaps having been the problem that they need to blame it on other people. They need to make themselves a minority so that there's a majority to blame. There are plenty of spaces in the world where that exists. Calling yourself an incel because you are incredibly unattractive to other people is not that. And it has very little to do with the way you look. Like, yes, you may not be very physically attractive, but like, same, bro. I'm gonna say it for the millionth time. Women generally don't care about what you look like. You may have that perception from dating apps, but get off dating apps, dude. Even if they go well, they are so bad for you. Watch a TLC show. The ugliest people you know are having more sex than you are. You'll be okay. Just figure out who it is you want to be and go and try and be that person. Don't just sit here and blame women for your inability to sleep with them. Also never understood the whole like hating the people that you want type thing. You want to sleep with women, they don't want to sleep with you, so you hate them. Like maybe if you liked them, if you were nice to them, funny, smart, charismatic, they would want to sleep with you. So instead of being like, oh, you don't like me, then I hate you, just be like, oh, no, I get it. Why don't I try to be someone like him? And then unfortunately, men tend to fall into the whole like, oh, well, I can make myself better. But then they make themselves better in the eyes of other men. Like they go, oh, I'm going to get jacked, or I'm going to get rich, or like these things that women typically don't care that much about. It's just men making themselves more attractive to other men, hoping that women will see that and be like, oh, I want the alpha. And it's such a weird way to think. Instead of looking at women and being like, I want a relationship with her. How do I get that? Instead, you look at men and you go, I want them to be envious of me so that women see that and go, that one. I want the leader of the pack, the one that sits in the back and goes, oh. All right, listen, dude, I don't have advice. All I know is make jokes, say dumb things. Sometimes women like me. And I've been very lucky with being able to develop relationships in my life. I can tell you the things I do that people don't like. Sometimes I freestyle too much in public. Me and Lee were in the middle of Minnesota getting pizza, and I was standing there freestyling about how I had to pee, and she was like, please stop. I was like, yo, I'm about to pee my pants. Y'all about to see me dance. Ain't done this in 10 years. I'm about to relapse. She was like, Max, please stop. This is my entire personality, all right?
We need to regain control of women again, the way it used to be in the 1950s.
The 1950s, when women generally couldn't work, and the salary that you were given for being a stock boy at the grocery store was more than enough to feed your family. Yeah, there are plenty of things I would like from the 1950s. The misogyny, the racism, that type of stuff, I'll leave behind. But I would love to be able to afford to feed my family, to house my wonderful girlfriend on one salary so that she could stay home, or the other way around. That would be great, but you don't want that. You want a woman who's going to stay home, clean, cook, but also go to work in the morning because you need two salaries. And if she didn't, you're going to go, wow, I pay for everything. It's a little weird how many of the men you see who end up being like this, who are like, yeah, I want to be the provider, I want a stay-at-home wife, can't provide, don't have the money to do so. And when they do get themselves into this relationship, they happen to go, okay, but I'm the one putting all the money into this, therefore you should be doing 24/7 emotional labor. Like there's never a balance. It's just a bunch of people wanting control.
I couldn't put up with being cheated on by women and being lied to and betrayed, and so I've pretty much gone gay.
Sexuality is not a choice. As much as I wish it was, I had this conversation with a friend of mine named Haley in high school when we were 15. We were outside, and she said, I don't care what gay people do, but I don't agree with their choice. And I said, what choice? And she said, their choice to be gay. And I was like, all right. Haley, your boyfriend's ugly. You're telling me you're choosing to be attracted to that thing? And somehow, that was enough. Maybe she changed her mind, maybe she didn't, but she never brought it up again. If sexuality was a choice, I would never understand why women, men, literally everyone in the world isn't only attracted to women. It is so hard to find men who are attractive. And when you do, they're the worst kind of people. I'm thinking specifically of Jeremiah and Ace from Love Island. I watched the entire season, the only season I've watched, and it was awful.
Women have the capacity to be good, but they need to be put under our control.
Women have the capacity to love. Women have the capacity to be good, but they need to be put under our control again. If when women are no longer under your control, the first thing they want to do is to get away from you, then you are not being loved. You're holding somebody captive. I don't know how that's news to you, but it is. I said in a previous video that at some point, everyone in their life deserves love. I got a lot of comments that were like, no, actually they don't. And I agree. What I meant was, I think at some point, in somebody's life, everyone is lovable, right? Whether that's going to end at 10 or 40, I think at some point you're worthy of love from your parents, from a romantic partner, from whatever. At some point, I do think people throw it away, like this guy, seemingly at 11. And looking at him now, I would never say that. No, you're not the person that deserves to be loved. Can he change? Yeah, sure, absolutely. I don't see why not. I would be so scared of being this person's romantic partner and then Googling them, like Rob when he met Elise on 90 Day Fiance, The Hunt for Love. Hey, don't Google me. But I'm going to end it here because the rest is just a lot of Dr. Phil talking, and I'm going to end it with this. My audience is not mostly men. In fact, it's about 80% women and another 5% who are either NB or don't identify as anything according to YouTube. So the people that this would in some way help are not the people that are being spoken to now. At 19, there's absolutely no reason you should be calling yourself an incel. At 19, more people than you think are virgins. At 27, 28 now, I have multiple friends who are, and it is not that big of a deal. Do people want to have sex? Yeah, absolutely. But is it going to change all that much? Probably not. For some people, it'll be a confidence boost. For others, it'll be oh, that was it? And for plenty of people, it'll just be something they don't think about. There's a show from Channel 4 called Virgin Island, where a bunch of virgins go to an island with the explicit goal of losing their virginity. And they have these challenges where they work on their confidence. They have sex coaches who guide them through touching and being touched. And the show, though seemingly, hey, let's just go have sex, for most of them is some sort of therapy. Most of them learn to be touched again after years of being afraid of it. Some of them learn to touch people for the first time. Most of the problems stem from not being able to talk to each other rather than just being incels. It's communication that leads to relationships that lead to sex. There's one guy on the show who's like, I don't have problems with touching, with being touched, with talking. I'm pretty confident. I'm just here because I'm a virgin. I don't want to be. And he's like 28, 30. And the people on the show aren't having sex with each other. They're having sex with the sex coaches. It's actually really weird as a format. But he talks to one of them, or designated love partners, whatever they end up being. And he talks to one of them and he goes, hey, I'm ready. And she's not. And she gets scared by how forward he is. And she's like, oh no, like we still don't really know each other. Like, yes, we're here for that reason, but like we have to work our way there. And he's like, nope, ready. Say it. Hey. And she's like, all right, false start, dude. That's so stupid. I can't believe I said that. Anyway, she's like, no, dude, I can't. And so they go to a therapist together to kind of talk about that. And through the show, he learns like, oh, I'm being too much. I'm being pushy. I'm being creepy. I'm being too forward. He also like starts this thing where he's like, I'm going to compliment all the girls that are here. And so he goes up to the women and he's like, you're really pretty. And then he like looks over and he's like, you got a good personality. And he looks over, he's like, you're here. And all the women are like, why are you, stop, don't do that. That's weird, dude. That's creepy. There's not like a smart ending to this. It's not one of those times where I go, oh, these people are relatable or understandable. They're not. I'm lucky enough to not really have been rejected and rejected and rejected and unwanted and cheated on, or at least not being smart enough to have perceived it at that point, and to have developed really good relationships with people that I was friends with first. And I can imagine a timeline where I am unwanted and rejected and unloved and all these things these people claim to be, and I'm sad, mad about it, but I can't imagine one where I hate women. I just don't know how you get there. I understand the process and I can see it happening. I just don't understand the end result. You can walk me through the entire thing. I can nod my head at every step and I'm still like, how did that happen? It's that final step of like, oh, I do hate women, or I'm like, why? Because they don't want you? That's so much more about you than it is about them. And then people in general, because when I talk about my virgin friends, I think most of them are women. People in general do this thing where they're like, oh, well, like I'm not funny. It's just practice. You know how unfunny I am all the time until I'm funny? Oh, I'm not charismatic. It's just practice. Oh, I'm so scared of talking to people. I get it. I do. I am. And I am not going to say that one's just practice because it's hard and it's uncomfortable and I don't like it and I avoid it as much as I possibly can. Again, there is no smart ending to this. I don't have anything important to say. Don't be an incel. If the women you meet don't like you, I promise you it is not women as a whole. I promise you, not every person on this earth was put there to hate you. I promise you that you're going to be fine. It actually does not have to do with the way that you look, surprisingly. It doesn't have to do with the amount of money that you make. It has a lot to do with the person that you are and the amount of effort you put into things. If you took the effort you put into hating women and changed it into being the effort into, and put that effort towards being somebody likable for them, or being funny for them, or liking them, or just being someone they want to be around, you would be a lot more successful. You put in so much effort into being an incel that you got yourself on daytime TV multiple times. Dr. Phil, ABC, whatever everything else was. Imagine if from 11 to 19, you could have just been like, why don't I work on being fun, funny, attractive, smart, my ability to backflip. Carry around cheese. I've said this in a video before. Women love cheese. Even if they're lactose intolerant. I'm pretty sure if they're lactose intolerant, they want more cheese. All right, I'm going to end it there because I'm going to ramble, and I have been rambling for a long time. And again, I don't have anything smart to say about this. This is something I don't understand. I get how they get there. I don't get how they end up there, if that makes sense. I understand the process of being like, oh, I'm unloved, I'm unwanted. And then it's the part where they go, I hate them. Then I'm like, that seems like a lot. Thank you all for spending time with me. It's my favorite thing to do. My favorite people to do it with. Toast is sleeping. But as always, if you want to say goodbye to her, I've said this before, and I'm sure I'll say it again. I have a lot of feelings, and so it's hard for me to be a person a lot of the time. And so after I left Lee's house, I just had a long July, and I'm sure I'll have a long August, and then I'll see her in September. So like the video if you haven't already. Don't dislike it if you dislike it, because that's going to hurt my feelings. You don't want to do that. You don't want to hurt my feelings and make me an incel. You don't want to hurt my feelings, and then the next video is just me ranting about how I hate women. Dude, I hate how they smell good. Disgusting. All right, get away from me. Go. Go. Get out of here. Also that, for the most part, like, I develop one new relationship every 3 to 4 years where I'm able to tell people my honest feelings. Like right now, it's my friend Kitsubro, who has now crocheted me 3 plushies because she's wonderful. 2 of them are at Lee's house, though. But for the most part, I'm like, don't talk to me. I don't like you, but don't leave me. Anyway, all right, get out of here. Go, go. Bye.